NYPD is seeing a decline in officers like never before, with the record number of them leaving the force. It is a subject we've been covering, and Police Benevolent Association President Patrick Henry spoke about it on The Point with Marsha Kramer over the weekend.
We have a staffing crisis going on in the NYPD right now. Our members are overworked, understaffed, not being able to get days off, barely being able to get meals.
He says an average of 200 officers are leaving the department every month. And joining us now to talk about it all is CBS law enforcement contributor and former deputy commissioner with the NYPD, Richard Esposito. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Mary.
We see the NYPD is having trouble keeping officers and recruiting them. Why would you say interest is so low right now?
You know, Mary, that's a really good question. I mean, policing is what ought to be seen as a relatively attractive job. You get a chance to do work for the public good. You're paid pretty well. So why are people not signing up? The real elephant in the room is public perception. There's a gulf between what the police do and what people think they do. So that is the real issue right now. After George Floyd, after stop and frisk, after all the attention to the abuses by what ultimately is a small number of police officers, there's a stay away. Something else Patrick Henry said to Marsha Kramer: the word of mouth, don't take this job.
Let's talk about the impact of the lack of officers. What does this mean for safety?
Well, the first thing it means is the officers that are on the job work more overtime. They are tired. They're under more stress. And that impacts on public safety because you're pushing people to the edge of their envelope. There'll be enough officers. It'll take a long time before there are not enough officers on the street in New York. We have over 34,000 cops, but you're losing cops from retirement at the rate that Patrick Henry said, over 200 a month. But you're also not recruiting cops at the rate we used to. So less people are taking the police exam, and the recruiting efforts really need to be stepped up even more.
Mayor Adams recently restored some cuts to the NYPD. What are some other things you think the city can do to retain officers?
Retaining after 20 years is very tricky. New York City officers are blessed with a pension that allows you to retire after 22 years. That's a rarity in other cities, Los Angeles, Chicago, San Diego. You have to stay till 50. So that's a challenge. What do you do to keep people who are eligible to retire to stay on the job when conditions of the kind of oversight that the city council has proposed, let's record every single interaction with the public. These kinds of things are wearing, and yet officers are brave. And New York City youth who could be officers are brave. So you see what happened last night, go into a domestic situation. There's no lack of bravery on the part of people who want to become cops. It's really a challenging question here.
What would you say to people who are interested in joining? What is rewarding about the job?
You really have a chance to impact on the life of people, the citizens in this city. You have the opportunity to help keep people safe, to help keep our city thriving, and to be paid well, to be given an excellent benefit package. There's a lot going for being a cop, but public service is really what it's about.
Richard Esposito, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Mary, very much. Good to see you.
You too.